Recording in
PM is
progress.
a meeting of the Pacific Grove City Council. I'll call the meeting to order. May we have a roll call, please?
Thank you. Mayor Peak,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Amelia,
Here.
Council Members Coletti.
Here.
McAdams,
Here.
Paduri. Smith,
Here.
Tomlinson. Here. And Councilmember Paduri. Entering now.
All right, Councilmember McAdams, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
United States and to the republic for which it stands.
I have a motion to approve the agenda
So moved. Second.
and a vote, please.
Smith,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Amelia,
Aye.
Mayor Peak,
Aye.
Council Members Coletti,
Aye.
McAdams,
aye.
Paduri. And Tomlinson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0 to approve the agenda.
Chief Matalone, welcome.
Staff and members of the public. I appreciate the opportunity to present these 3 public service awards tonight. And before I begin, I'd like to thank Chief Kathy Lester from Sacramento, who came down here to support her officer. That's a pretty long drive for a short presentation. Really appreciate it. Totally. Chief Gowdens, Penholzer from the fire department, and any other fire department members, my members of the police department here, and members of AMR if they're in attendance. So on Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022, it's a day that many people will never forget. And Steve and Brita here are 2 of those people. It was a beautiful sunny day in Pacific Grove. There was no wind and the ocean was very calm. On this day, Steve, who was a member of the Kelp Crawlers, decided he couldn't let such a beautiful day go by without taking a swim. Steve didn't know it when he entered the water, but his life would change. So on that day, also in Pacific Grove, we had Paul Bandy, a off-duty Sacramento police officer, his wife, Amy Johns, a nurse, who were both paddleboarding at Lovers Point, and Heath Braddock, who was on the beach and teaching surf lessons. Thankfully, the waters, as I said, were calm, so Steve's cries for help were heard. Steve was bitten by a great white shark. Paul and Amy paddled over to help Steve, and Heath left the safety of the Sandy Shore beach and took a second board and paddled out in the blood-filled waters to help rescue Steve. Once they arrived on shore, several other people assisted by applying tourniquets with t-shirts and towels. Fire, AMR, and PD were on scene within minutes, and Steve was transported to Natividad, where he received excellent care. On June 22nd, 2022, everything aligned for Steve perfectly after he was bitten by the shark. Many people called 911 to alert first responders. People on the beach were ready and assisted by rendering aid when Steve was brought to the shore. Paul, Amy, and Heath, who did not hesitate, they sprang into action to rescue Steve. It's safe to say that most people keep to themselves and seldom get involved when there is a crisis. And I'm sure the numbers decrease significantly when you put yourself in danger and harm's way. Without a doubt, Paul, Amy, and Heath took heroic actions to save Steve's life and definitely put themselves in harm's way. I'm a big proponent of we meet people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and in some cases, it's more than one. And I think on this day, Steve met Paul, Amy, and Heath for a reason, and they'll be forever connected for a lifetime. So tonight we recognize Paul, Amy, and Heath. Each will be receiving a frame certificate. Can you all come up real quick? Right over here. Gallons, you want to come up? And Amy? Paul? And Heath? And on the certificates, on the frames, there's a patch from the police department, from the fire department, and a coin. And on the certificates for Amy and for Paul, They read, for your immediate response on June 22nd, paddling to help rescue a swimmer bitten by a shark. Your actions and bravery were both selfless and heroic and saved a life. And for Heath, his reads, for your immediate response on June 22nd, 2022, jumping in the ocean and paddling out with a second board to help rescue a swimmer bitten by a shark. Your actions and bravery were both selfless and heroic and saved a life. In addition to that, we have these Crystal Awards, and each of them read, for your brave and heroic actions taken to save a life on June 22nd, 2022 in the city of Pacific Grove, with their names on. And so researchers say that empathy and compassion for others are key variables that contribute to heroic behavior. People who rush in to help others in the face of danger and adversity do so because they genuinely care about people and the well-being of others. Paul, Amy, and Heath, you are true heroes. So congratulations and thank you so much for the actions you took on that day.
Yes, please.
Hello, I'm the unfortunate fellow who met the shark. I can assure you that if Heath, Amy, and Paul had not been so skilled and so swift, that I would have perished, and quickly. I cannot pay you back, but I can pay it forward. So in your honor, I will find ways to help people in need. And it will start with donating blood regularly. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Well said. Mr. Stratton, welcome.
I'll go ahead and start. Thank you for having me tonight, and what a great night for me to be here. I'm glad I was able to see that. It is a tough act to follow. My name is Josh Stratton. I'm the Manager of External Affairs for California American Water here, based in PG. We have about 85 employees here locally, and I'm fortunate to be one of them. I've been at the company for about 5 months now. This is my second presentation, so I'm a seasoned veteran. But I have my A back there, Evan Jacobs, who's my boss. He's the Director of External Affairs for California American Water. So if I don't have an answer to a question, I'm sure that Evan can step in and help me. Here today to talk to you about the Monterey Peninsula Water Supply Project, which I'm sure is no mystery to most of you. but just want to come and provide a few points on it and get your input and thoughts and any questions that I can answer for you. I'm happy to do. Do I flip the page? Thank you. So you can see here on this sheet here, we've got a pretty large network of customers and people that we serve, both with water and wastewater throughout the county. Goes all the way out Carmel Valley into Seaside. We have basins within, we draw water from the Seaside Basin, from the Monterey Sub-Basin, the 18400 Aquifer, and Langley area. We also operate a desal facility in Sand City, which I don't think many people know that we manage that and operate that as well. So we have a pretty large footprint here in the area. Next slide. So as you know, we have serious water supply constraints, not just in the state, but here specifically in Monterey County. We historically have drawn our water from the Carmel River. As you know, we have mandate to reduce pumping from the Carmel River. It's not flowing anymore. We've also are now drawing from the Seaside Basin. We have a number of wells there, including aquifer supply and recovery wells there. We're mandated to reduce our pumping there as well. And there's a current state of drought, a significant drought throughout the state and in Monterey County. If you've driven by a reservoir recently, you've seen the results. San Juan Reservoir over Pacheco Pass, nearly empty. I went to Shasta recently, and Shasta Lake is a puddle. Lake Nacimiento is at about 19% capacity. Lake San Antonio is about 11% capacity. There's simply no water above ground to supply the water needs for our communities any longer. And what you're seeing above ground is happening below ground as well. Our wells, our aquifers are all, people have to dig to drill deeper to access water. And we have saltwater intrusion problems throughout the county. It's very pervasive, and we're in a period of prolonged drought. And we're at a point now where, some people say a desalination project is too soon. Let's discuss this more. Let's find another location. Let's do some more studies. Let's do a number of things. And I say it's too soon, it's too soon, it's too soon until it's too late. And we think that now it's at the point where it's going to be too late if we continue along this path. And now is the time to move forward with the desalination plant. Next slide, please. That being said, our current supplies are about 8,500 square feet is what our current supplies are for the number of sources that we have throughout the area. Our current demand is about 9,700 acre feet. So we're clearly deficient in the amount of supply we have for the demand that we have. Now, we're all aware of the various statements and opinions out there on water supply. And some people say that there are adequate supplies of water. Others say that there aren't, and there's a lot of debate going on about that. And I go back to the last point of, because let's just assume there is a gray area on which statistics are correct. We as a water company have an obligation to provide water for our customers and provide safe drinking water. We don't have the luxury of waiting another few years to see if this pans out, to see if we can find maybe a different solution that some people find more palatable. We have an obligation to provide water. That being said, just today, you may or may not have seen around noon today, we sent out a press release saying that we're going to actually reduce the size of our project. It was going to generate about 6.4 million gallons per day. Today, we sent a release, we're going to change it to 4.8 million gallons per day. So it's going to be a smaller project, and we did that for a number of reasons. One was just, because of the different opinions on water supply needs. We know that this is a number that we can do to reduce the environmental footprint and impacts that people are concerned about there. So it's just, we think it's a good starting point to phase up the project. So as statistics maybe firm up and get more common agreement, we can always ramp up. So that's a big change today that we've submitted that to Tom Lester at the Coastal Commission. And we're pretty excited about this change. We think it's going to be, we have an obligation to provide project more palatable. For that being said, just today, you may or may not have seen around noon today, we sent out a find more palatable. We have an obligation to provide project more palatable. That being said, just today, you may or may not have seen around noon today, we sent out a find more palatable. We have an obligation to provide project more palatable.
Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project. More palatable. Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable. We have an obligation to project.
95% of the water
Today, extended on the scenes is a new stage more palatable.
back up a little bit. Plant well technology. No intake. Our project is going to be like seawater from under. Our project we have for years operated with no environmental impact. No impact on the adjoining basins, marina, for example. So we've really taken every consideration that we think to mitigate any potential environmental impact. So we've really taken every consideration, larger community and also to mitigate any potential environmental impact. We're going to the larger community on November 17th. Coming up, and typically going to the first official hearings or throughout the state and the region where the project is. This is going to be such an important state meeting that customers is actually going to come from Martin County Board of Supervisors for some local meeting. Make sure that we can anybody from the public will have the advantage of having closer to home so they can attend and have input. Anybody we find will have advantage of having closer to home for good and attend and have input. People in Monterey County are among the thriftiest in the state. We use about 60 gallons per day per person, which is among the lowest in the state. We have done an amazing job of lowest in the state serving water here. We're actually also partnered with the Marcus Water Management District. We have very robust conservation programs. Teach Marcus Water Management District system. We're giving bark away. So connection programs that can help keep moisture in the ground to prevent less than the amount of water that you need in your home. We're very proud of that. We don't want to use more. We're very proud of water as much as possible. Supporting a relationship with that. Water as much as possible. Affordability. This is, as I touched on before, people are concerned that you're going to put this big project in that is debatable by some whether it's even necessary. So how who's going to pay for the big project? We are a CPUC, Public Utilities Commission regulated. So how we cannot raise or lower our prices really regulated. Everything is adjudicated by decided upon by the CPUC. That being said, we have customer assistance programs, which are the most robust in the state from any utility. That being said, we're proud of that. Customer assistance programs, LIWAP, which is the low-income household water solutions program. People who are low income and need assistance paying the water bills. Safe drinking water is a right. So we do everything we can to make sure that every person at every income level is safe drinking water, even with the desalination project. We want to make sure that whatever costs are incurred, that everybody, that those lowest or most vulnerable will not be impacted. Got a crisis fund for those in emergency, the lowest or most vulnerable, assistance paying the bill. There are funding programs by the state. Emergency funds. We're going to remove the tier of our. We're very proud of our tiered system, rate system. We have the low income. We have doing those in congregate living accommodation, low income apartment, for example. We have in lower income, they use less water accommodation, yards to lawn to maintain. So they're going to pay less yards. So we're very proud of maintaining efforts we make to make sure that our customers are impacted less. That being said, I think I've said enough. I'd really rather just answer questions about this. We recommend everybody go to the Martin Peninsula Water Supply Project.com. We've got it about this. Frequently asked questions in 4 different languages on there. Really make sure that it has access to the information. We've had very robust community engagement on there, which is why we're part of why I'm here tonight. We've had about 10 community meetings in Marina, Castroville, Salinas. We've had about 10 community meetings, so that everybody has an opportunity to ask questions and learn about this. And all those questions we've cataloged and they're on the website for people to ask questions and learn about them. So that being said, we catalog questions on the website for people to ask questions and learn about them. So that being said, we catalog questions on the website for people to ask questions.
I guess I just have some cost questions. What's the total cost? What's the percentage of that cost that will be covered by state and federal grants or federal funding? And then what would be the increase to a general user who's not in one of these special casing buckets? And then what would
That's
be the
the
increase to a general
lack of better
user
expression,
who's
$1
not in one
million
of
question.
those
Right now, we
special
don't have
casing buckets?
the actual cost project yet. We did an analysis many years ago. When this was a regional project. The county with Marina Coast with Marina. This was a regional project. It was originally proposed. The county fell apart for no reasons. So years later, we're moving forward because we have to go it alone at this point, but due to all the inflationary costs, we don't have a specific number on the cost yet. But that being said, we're already presented to us those commissions and these programs to make sure that approximately 70% of our customers should fall in the tier rate, tier structure. Most users should not be impacted by jurisdictional increases to the tier structure project. That's a nebulous answer.
So just to follow up, so the total cost, you don't even have a ballpark, but then, that's okay. Is there, do you have, I'm not really up on like the federal and state programs that are going to help assist with the, I'm not really for this type of project. Can you shed some light on some of the programs that are available that you're applying for?
Yeah, maybe I would touch on that more. There's some that we're getting out of a detailed list of the particular funding sources. There are some, there's some that we're getting out. I don't have a detailed list of particular funding sources. There are some, there's some that we're getting out. I don't have a detailed list of particular funding sources. There are some, there's some that we're getting out. I don't have a
Kevin Jacobs, also with California American Water. I have worked for the company for a number of years. I worked down here in 2003, 4, and 5, and then I have worked for the company for a number of years. I worked down here since then. I guess in terms of project costs, the most recent cost estimate we had was about $320 million from 2018. With the new sizing, phasing of the project, we expect those costs to change. With the new sizing, less infrastructure needed, fewer slant wells needed on the property. With the other mitigations there. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of inflation in construction costs, so those other mitigations there. Definitely, once we get the permit done, we're gonna go through another round of value engineering, really push on this project. Maybe once we get the permit done, we're gonna go through. In terms of funding sources, we have applied for and received some grant funding already. I think in the funding source range of about $10 million. There is a lot of state revolving fund money, as well as other state sources that just put out there because of the drought that we will be eligible for. Our company is eligible to take grant funding and low interest rate funding. So we do plan on maximizing that grant funding and working